Alex Lordson back in the studios. JT to my right, I'm Ryan Rollick. Here we go. Jake Guzzi to jump up against Weston Baker McGrath. Tigers going right to left in your radio dial. Tap is up and won by the Blue Jays.
Just a quicker jump and knocked it right down. Blue Jays will start with the ball.
Dufault quickly off the bounce, hangs in the air, kiss off the glass, no good. Rebound, McGrath battles for it, gets it, and is fouled right out of the get-go by Carter.
So Carter will pick up the first foul, and what a great job by Baker McGrath. He was being mauled by two Blue Jays and held onto the basketball until the whistle finally blew. They called the foul, and the Tigers get the ball back. You know, they started with Dufault driving in just a little bit. Everybody's expecting him to shoot that three-point shot. Expect some different things from this Blue Jay squad from the first time we played them.
Saugstad to the right elbow. Here's Winkleman. First offensive possession for Marshall. Reese hands off Himaleski. Pull up 17-footer. No good. Too strong. Rebound down to Strike.
And they are going to be all over Baker McGrath. They're going to double him down. That's going to leave guys like Drew Himaleski and Zach Blumker wide open to take the shot.
Into the front court. Strike over to the right-hand side. Here is Nelson. Nelson on top of the key. They go Carter over to Strike on the left wing. On top to Dufault. Dufault sizes up Himaleski coming off the screen. Can't go under those screens. That will be dangerous later. We'll see if they continue to do that. Dufault gets the pass back out from Carter. Wants a screen from Carter. Here is Dufault. He'll spin. He'll give it to Carter. Bullet pass underneath. Touch pass. Open shot for Guzzi's up. Good.
Great ball movement. They got it to Guzzi. First bucket. Blue Jays.
So 2-0 in favor of the Blue Jays here early on. Blumker now throws it back out to Saugstad to set things up. Just on the way from Gustavus Adolphus College. Himaleski gives it to McGrath over to the right-hand side. Saugstad. Nick, one bounce, make it a couple with the left hand on top to Winkleman, trying to get it to McGrath, nothing there. So Reese will dribble over the left side wing. He wants to attack. He'll spin, kick over. Saugstad now baseline. Himaleski, pump fake, kicks it out right side. Blumker. Zach bounces it out to Saugstad. Looking to attack, crossing over, a screen from McGrath, going down left side, hangs in the air, foul, and he'll go to the line for two as the foul will go on Nelson.
Caleb will pick up his first foul, and good patience by the Tigers. And they also had good ball movement. Nick Saugstad uses the screen from Baker McGrath and weaves around people, gets to the hoop, draws the harm. He'll get a couple of free throws.
Both teams shaking out nerves. Waseca hasn't looked nervous at all. Great ball movement, as JT mentioned, to get their first bucket. Now Nick's first free throw ended out no good.
That has been a sad, sad story for the Tigers. Free throw shooting must be better.
So Nick will tow it up again. Another free throw here, trying to get the Tigers on the board. 16:25 to play first half. Saugstad buries the second. 2-1 in favor of Waseca. Full court pressure put on by the Tigers. Middle of the floor, Nelson over to the left. Here is Carter. They clear. They hand off Strike. And the Blue Jays will set up their offense. Strike out here on the perimeter. Nearly lost it, but shovels it to Dufault at half court. Now Dufault calls out the play. Blumker on Dufault. Going down the right. Fadeaway jumper right elbow is up. That is an air ball. Rebound. Winkleman battles for it. Gets it here to the near side. Blumker.
Good contest by Zach Blumker.
No look pass over to McGrath. Reverse layup is good.
And good transition basketball back the other way. Zach Blumker had options. Gets it to Baker McGrath. Reverse layup is good.
Now Blumker steal. Gets it in. Himaleski. Drew shovels it to no one. It is loose. Run down by Winkleman. Now Reese will give it to Saugstad right here on the near side. First turnover of the basketball game.
A good pressure put on by the Tigers. We talked about that. That's going to cause some turnovers.
Blumker looking to attack here on the baseline. Fakes the step back, kick out. Saugstad, lob it into McGrath. McGrath attacks quickly. Layup is good again.
That's exactly what I was talking about. If you can get it down to Baker McGrath, he's going to do some damage for number 0.
Dufault looking to attack here on the right baseline. Retreats. A 5-0 run by Marshall. Leads 5-2. Here's Dufault on the right side wing. Shovels it out to Strike near half court. They'll reset. Good patience here by the Blue Jays. Strike on top of the key. Over to the left to Nelson. Nelson guarded by Saugstad. Spins away from him. Attacking the left. He'll put up a tough shot. Kiss no good. Rebound Winkleman.
And Tigers are wiping the glass right now. One and done. Uh-oh.
Awful pass. Strike saves it in. Turnover by Marshall.
Bad pass.
Can't make those passes in this kind of game. From one side of the court to the other. 3/4 length of the court. Never will be completed. Strike has it on this side for Waseca, trying to get the Blue Jays on the board. Dufault bounces it to Carter. Carter over to the left. Strike looking baseline. Here's Dufault coming off a couple screens. Entry pass going to Guzzi. Now Carter kicks out. Nelson wide open three for the tie. No good off the back iron. Rebound down to McGrath. Spins out of some pressure.
Once again, good rebound in the middle of two Blue Jays. Baker McGrath pulls it down.
Blumker on top of the key. Crosses over. Trying to attack. Leaves it for Himaleski. Drew. Waseca wants to travel. these kinds of things, I think they're going to let a few things go. Little hop there. Dufault had one earlier as well. I like it, letting them roll. Blumker, he'll fire a three. That's over Dufault. Good for Zach Blumker.
Used the screen, got open, hit the three. Zach Blumker, it's good.
8-2 in favor of Marshall with 13:55 to play first half. Nelson in the front court here for the Blue Jays. Fires it over to Strike on the left wing. Strike, a couple dribbles, goes between the legs, trying to attack Himaleski. Got caught in the paint, throws it out. Dufault will run it down. And the Blue Jays slowing it down. Coach Dufault saying, hey, let's be patient. Dufault on the right side wing. He'll attack. Nice running. Teardrop is up, rolls off. Rebound down to McGrath.
Yeah, Reese tried to draw the charge. That didn't come, but Dufault didn't hit the shot either.
Himaleski to the front court, gives it to Saugstad. A couple Tigers waiting to check in. Next in ball. Saugstad throws up two fingers, says let's roll with two. Over to the left, Blumker. Zach guarded by Dufault. A couple dribbles here, coming off the screen. He'll go on the paint. He'll attack. Hang in the air, partially blocked. Rebound down to Carter.
A lot of arm in there. They are going to let things go. It's going to be a physical game.
Strike to attack left side. Try to no-look pass. Tipped and stolen by Blumker.
That's a silly pass, a silly turnover by the Blue Jays.
Strike tried the no-look variety. Good read by, I think it was Winkleman that tipped it. Blumker with a steal. Here is Reese. Crossover pass to the right baseline. Saugstad into McGrath. Jump hook, just too strong. Rebound down to Carter.
It was there. They got it into him. Good turnaround shot. A little strong.
And I could see why Weston dominated, because Guzzi way slow to react on that shot. They get it into Guzzi. Guzzi spins right baseline. Swatted by McGrath. Rebound down to Strike.
There's one.
Back into Guzzi. Pump fake. Lowers the shoulder. Shot is good. Wow, that should have been offensive. Elbow right into the chops of McGrath.
And he felt that one. He's wiping his nose off. His eyes a little watery, but Guzzi now with all 4 points for the Blue Jays.
Coach Carroll all over the referee, and I hope Weston's all right. I agree with letting him play physical, but that created an opportunity to get the shot off. That's an offensive foul.
Well, he's going to have to sit down, too, because I don't think he can quite see right now. It's not like a concussion or anything, but his eyes are watering. He took that straight to the nose.
So now we'll see a little bit of depth from both teams. As Dakota Williamson into the contest, as is Malik Willingham, a good shooter, 8-4. That ended an 8-0 run by Marshall. Blumker over to the right, gives it to Thomas Fisher, Blaze Andrews, Xavier Town, and Trey Lance check in. Blumker the only man to remain. He'll fire a tough three. Shot is no good. Andrews with a board, puts it up, draws a foul on Carter. Or Guzzi, excuse me.
Yeah, Guzzi's going to pick up the foul, so you have one on Guzzi, one on Carter, and one on Nelson for the Blue Jays, and this will result in free throws for Blaze Andrews.
McGrath telling Coach Carroll he's all right, nodding his head saying I'm good.
I don't think there's any way you're pulling that young fella out of this game.
Blaze misses the first free throw. 8-4 in favor of the Tigers here early on. 12:01 to play first half. Tigers and Blue Jays vying for a shot at the state tournament. Andrews, back of the strike, takes his time. Free throw up, back iron, won't get the shooter's roll. Rebound Guzzi.
Tigers 1 of 3 from the free throw line.
Dufault into the front court for the Blue Jays. Hesitate, dribble, pull up jumper, hangs in the air. Shot is short, gets his own board though, puts it back up, block. Ooh, foul on Lance.
Tough call. Foul count 3-0. And there they get one on Trey Lance. Looked pretty clean to me.
Well, and the Tigers just bailed there, JT, after Dufault
missed the shot. Stepped right into the open spot and got the rebound.
Dufault is an amazing free throw shooter. Buries the first. Something ridiculous like 117 of 131 this season from the free throw line. He is as close to automatic as you'll get. Free throw is up. That one is missed, and the jinx is perfect.
I knew what you were trying to do. I didn't want to say anything.
Absolutely. 8-5 in favor of the Tigers here early on. 11:40 to play first half from Gustavus Adolphus College. They give it to Town. Town over to the right, Fisher. Thomas right back to Town. To the left, Blumker. Zach getting a screen from Xavier. Look at his shoot. Nope, he lobs it down to Xavier. Strong move. Shot is up. No good. Rebound down to Williamson.
Coaching staff with their arms up, wondering how that's not a foul.
And up the floor. Shot is up and good for Caleb Nelson. And here come the Blue Jays on a 5-0 run to make it 8-7 Marshall. Fisher fires over to the left to Trey Lance. Trey on top of the key. Back over to the left, Town lobs it into Andrews. Blaze power dribble. Jump hook is short. Rebound down to Willingham.
And the Tigers struggling offensively. Not a lot of confidence on the floor.
Right-hand side, Nelson gives it to Willingham on top of the key. He'll set things up for the Blue Jays. Willingham, a young freshman, but a good one. On the left side, hands off to Nelson. Nelson on top of the key for the Blue Jays. Picks up his dribble. Gives it to Guzzi. Guzzi trying to hand it to someone here. Lobs it back out to Default at half court. 8-7 in favor of Marshall. Blue Jays led 2-0 early. Marshall went on an 8-0 run. Right now, the Blue Jays on a 5-0 run. Williamson over to Willingham on the right side wing to Williamson. Good give and go. Layup missed. Rebound Guzzi missed. The putback and rebound Town.
I thought he was going to flush it and try to throw it back in short.
Lance now will fire three. That one too strong. Rebound down to Default.
Both teams now struggling to put the basketball in the hoop.
Default up the floor. Pull up three over Lance is short. Rebound tipped out to Lance. Trey will look to run for the Tigers. Going down the right side. Poked away and stolen by Willingham. Nope. Stepped on the baseline.
Well, you got to know somebody's coming, Trey. You got to know someone's coming.
McGrath in for Andries. Blumker out. Hess is in for the first time tonight. Jacob Hess, 10:02 to play. First half, 8-7 in favor of Marshall. Thomas Fisher to inbound for the right baseline. Gets it into McGrath. Jump hook for him is up and good for Baker McGrath.
And just like that, Baker McGrath now with 6.
Pass tip stolen by Hess. Jake on the right side. Bullet pass into Lance. Not a good idea. Now Default saves it for a steal for double. Ooh, timeout. They looked close to a double dribble, but timeout by Waseca. 10-7 Marshall. 9:48 to play first half. Back at Gustavus Adolphus College. 10-7 in favor of the Tigers. 9:48 to play first half. Lob it here near side Default. Lobs it all the way back over to Willingham. Lobs it back over to Default to bring it into the front court. Back over to Willingham on the left side. Leaves it for Nelson on top of the key. Blue Jays to set up their offense here. On the floor, Hess, Winkleman, Lance, McGrath, and Songstad for Marshall. Default on top to Willingham. He'll fire a three for the tie. No good. Rebound out to Hess.
Well, the good news is the three ball not falling for the Blue Jays. The bad news, the Tigers aren't cashing in on the other end of the floor.
Here's Hess on the left baseline, gives it to Nick on the left, and now we got a foul underneath on Carter, pushing McGrath out of there.
Yeah, that's going to be number 2 on Carter, but you have to credit McGrath on that. Being physical right back, and then the forearm came, and that's when the whistle blew. You can body up, but you can't extend your arm, and that's what Carter did.
You can be physical, but you got to be careful on how you do it. Inbound from Songstead on the left baseline into Hess here. Gives it to Lance on the left wing. Trey set up the offense, gets a screen from McGrath over to left. Hess looks down low for McGrath, not there. Now give it Winkleman, 14-footer for Reese. Halfway down and out. McGrath tips it up, then tips it out. It's off of Default, and that'll be Marshall basketball off of Default's arm.
You think they're not paying attention to McGrath?
Well, they saw what Faribault did.
Yep.
You know, try to say, hey, we want somebody else to beat us, and obviously they know from the first matchup. 10-7 in favor of the Tigers here. 9 minutes to play first half. Songstead on top of the key. Gives it to Winkleman. Tries the backdoor cut. There's going to be a foul on Nelson.
And that's going to be 2 on Nelson. So 2 on Nelson, 2 on Carter, 1 on Guzzi for the Blue Jays. Tigers still with just 1 foul on Trey Lance.
Inbound coming up right baseline, but as JT mentioned, Tigers not really cashing in yet. Lead 10-7. As Songstad to inbound here for the right baseline into Hess. Hess, entry pass goes McGrath. Jump hook, too strong. Rebound down to Winkleman. Reese then spins, kicks out to Lance on top of the key. Trey to set things up here. Over to the right. Hess, lob it back in. McGrath off of Hess's hands, but Lance there. Trey now slows it back up. 10-7 in favor of Marshall. 8:35 to play first half. Trey crosses over, attacks, bullet pass to Winkleman. Pump fake goes up. Shot is good.
That's patience right there. The pump fake had one guy go up, had another guy go up. Then Reese finally goes up, and he gets the bucket to go.
Default lobs it here to the near side. Willingham back over to Default. Default on the left wing. He'll attack in the paint. Hang in the air. Shot no good. Rebound out of McGrath.
Might have been tipped by Weston Baker McGrath.
Now pass over to Lance. Wide open three right baseline. Short. You can see that he tried to save it in by Default to Hess. Then it's blocked by Willingham. And the rebound to Guzzi.
Good reaction by Willingham. That was going to be an easy 2 by Jake Hess. Willingham denies.
Beautiful defense by Waseca. 12-7 Marshall. Default on the right side wing. Pump fake. He'll lean in. Jumper is good.
Just an athletic move by Nick Default. You won't find a lot of guys who can do that and look so graceful.
12-9 in favor of the Tigers here as both teams settle in. 7:40 to play first half. Songstad gives it to Winkleman on the high post on the right side. Reese now trying to go baseline. Lost his dribble. Fires it back on top to Songstad. Looks left. Nobody there. Now gives it to Hess on the left wing. Jake, a couple bounces to Winkleman. Reese pump fake. Kick over right baseline. Saugstad jumper, a little awkward, no good. Rebound McGrath puts it up. Foul on Guzzi.
Good idea to go right back up. And right now, what has McGrath got for rebounds?
5.
He's starting to rack them up.
As are the fouls, JT. And the Tigers going to have to weather the storm when they start evening out.
They are, but we talked about the fouls in the benches. There's a big difference, and you've got 2 on Guzzi, Carter, and Nelson. 3 of the 5 starters have 2 fouls.
Hemeleski and Blumker back in. Hessen Lance out.
Tigers continue to struggle from the free throw line. Now 1 of 5.
Strike back in, replacing Nelson. Nelson, one of 3 players for the Blue Jays. All 6 of their fouls are on 3 players. Nelson, Carter, and Guzzi. McGrath misses both free throws. Hemeleski tips the rebound out of bounds to Waseca.
Hemeleski could have just grabbed that one, instead poked at it.
12-9 in favor of the Tigers here. 7:20 to play first half. So lob it over to Strike. Strike, middle of the floor to Willingham. Willingham, no-look pass over to Williamson. Gives it to Guzzi. Pump fake, missed the shot. McGrath bats the ball out, goes right to Strike. He'll fire 3 for the tie. That's good!
Big shot from Strike.
12-12 our score. Saugstad in the front court. 6:55 to play first half. Hemeleski over to the right, Blumker. Zach gonna lob it up for Hemeleski. Layup up and go!
Nice little alley-oop off the glass and in for Drew Hemeleski. Tigers take the lead back.
Strike into the front court, fires over to Default. Default on the run, pull up, 12-footer is up and go.
Well, you knew he was going to take it. It was just a question of when he was going to stop and pop it. 5 now for Nick Default. Back-to-back buckets.
He could miss his first 20. He will catch fire at some point. Blumker, bullet pass down to Winkleman, pump fake up, foul, missed it. And the way the Tigers are shooting free throws, they better just go up right away.
Yep. Williamson will pick up the foul. That's going to be his first.
Reese mad at himself that he couldn't convert that because he knew the contact was coming. And Reese will go to the line for 2. Free throw no good. And this truly, no matter the way this first half is played, Waseca maybe not playing their best right now, JT, but you look at the scoreboard, we're tied at 14. Winkleman makes the second, 1 of 2, 15-14 Marshall.
2 of 8 from the free throw line. Not a good tally.
Default will walk it up as the Tigers back off their pressure. Default into the front court here. Dribbles over to the right-hand side. Gets it right baseline, Willingham. Willingham guarded by Blumker. Now he'll attack. He'll put up the runner. High arcer. Got it!
Wow, over Baker McGrath. Puts it high in the air. It comes down. Swish.
16-15, their first lead since 2-0 for the Blue Jays. Winkleman on the right side wing. Reese to attack. Here he is down the paint. Backdoor cut. Hemeleski reverse layup. Got it!
Just rolled in. That pump fake's working.
Now Strike here to the front court for the Blue Jays to a trailing Willingham. Willingham back over to Strike on the right wing. Strike hit the 3 to get the Blue Jays to tie it at 14 after the ball was swatted out to him on top of the key. Now it's 17-16 Marshall. Default on the right side wing guarded by Hemeleski. 5:25 to play first half. Default is bumped before the shot. Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa! They're going to call that as an N1.
What?
Wow!
Oh my goodness.
Interesting. Andries in town back in for Winkleman and McGrath. Foul on Hemeleski.
The whistle blew when his feet hit the ground, and then he left and took the shot, and they gave him the continuation. Wow.
That's interesting. 19-17 in favor of the Blue Jays. 5:20 to play here in the first half. Saugstad in the front court for Marshall. Bounces it to Town. To Hemeleski on the left side wing. Drew looks down low, hands off Andries on top of the key. Blaze, one dribble, hands off Blumker. Zach, one dribble, deep jumper, off balance, no good. Town with the O board, skies up, kiss is in.
Good rebound, thank goodness. I didn't like the shot from Zach Blumker. Xavier Town saves the day.
19s. 4:50 to play first half. Default off to the right. Great pass over to Guzzi. Layup is partially blocked by Town.
No
and
way.
Sits on the back iron. This is going to be a jump ball to Marshall. I have seen it all.
Yeah, I think it was Xavier Town who had a little bit of a block, just enough, and it sits right on the rim. Wow.
Wow is right. Partial block for the Tigers. Xavier Town, and then it laid on the back iron and didn't move. 19-19 our score. Trey Lance into the front court for the Tigers. Trey goes down the right side, hangs in the air, kick over to Town. Town open jumper is up and no good. Strong side board to Guzzi.
Just a little bit, but good shot from Xavier Town, wide open.
Strike now to Streaky Williamson. Layup is good.
And they're finding guys wide open. That time it was Dakota Williamson. Defensively, Tigers, you got to watch for your guy.
Blumker crosses over to the left. Sogstead. Nick looking to attack right side. Goes right at Willingham over Guzzi. What a tough layup from Sogstead.
He knew he had to have some distance between them, so a little hook shot from Nick Sogstead is good.
21-21 our score. Willingham on top of the key for the Blue Jays. 4 minutes to play. He'll fire a deep three. That's goal!
You got to watch out. He will shoot from anywhere.
And Willingham gives the Blue Jays a 3-point lead at 24-21. Here is Trey Lance at half court. Trey on top of the key, waiting for the offense to motivate. Over to the left, Sogstead. Nick to Andries. Blaze, hands off. Blumker fakes the three. Little hesitation dribble, get a right baseline Lance. He'll fire a three. That is no good. Rebound down to Williamson. Now lob it up ahead. Guzzi running the floor beautifully. Layup is good.
Getting loose. 6 now for Jake Guzzi. And there's got to be a timeout coming soon for Coach Carroll.
26-21 in favor of the Blue Jays. 3:10 to play first half. Blumker steps back. He'll fire a three. That halfway down and out. Rebound Williamson.
Continue to miss shots.
Wow. You know, you could say that Waseca maybe not playing the best early on. Well, the Tigers have shot very cold here in this first half. Over to left, Willingham, guarded by Blumker. Gives it to Default. Wants to set up a screen. He'll go to the right, get it over to Willingham. Three over Blumker is up and no good. Rebound comes down to Sogstead.
Good clear by Blaze Andries. He stares him down as he's running down the floor.
Nick now shovels it to Town. Xavier on the bounce. Kick out Blumker. Zach pump fake on the three. Over to the left. Lance, he'll fire a three. That is no good either. Rebound Strike.
Just called from the three-point line. They're getting the looks. They're not hitting.
Strike over to the right. Willingham another three. That is up and that is good.
There's the timeout.
It's early to really put some distance between them and Waseca. They couldn't. They missed a lot of free throws. They can't make a shot now, and the Blue Jays are getting hot from downtown.
The Tigers have their starting five minus Sogstead. Trey Lance staying on the floor.
Lance here to the front court. Tigers trying to get on the run before we end the half. Here is McGrath. Weston over to the right to Blumker. Zach lobs it down to Weston. Doubled, spins, jump hook. Tough one, no good. Rebound down to Carter.
And that's where they want to get McGrath just a little bit farther out than he's comfortable with shooting the basketball.
Carter over to left to Strike. Strike on the left side wing on top to Willingham. Willingham backs out for the Blue Jays. He has been the spark plug for the Blue Jays. Actually, Strike got it all started to tie it at 14 with his three. He'll attack. He'll spit off some pressure. Guarded by Blumker. Near 5-second call here. They're not even counting, actually. And there is the 5-second call. Fourth turnover by the Blue Jays.
That's just not smart basketball. You got to get rid of it, young fella. Strike was dribbling around all over the place, and then eventually the 5-second call came.
Williamson out. He's done a good job. He's been kind of the blue-collar worker for the Blue Jays in this first half, with Carter and Guzzi both with 2 fouls. Eric Moss checks in for the first time. Here is Himaleski. Give it to Winkleman. Reset the free throw line over to Lance on the right side wing. Trey will go baseline. He'll explode. He'll hang in the air. Shot is up and good.
Tough one. A lot of contact. Some hands on the arms. Fought through it and got the bucket to go. His first of the night.
Boy, the Tigers needed any kind of points. 29-23 Blue Jays. 1:12 to play first half. Default over to the right. Here is Strike. Strike gives it. Carter jumper high. Archer over McGrath in and out. Rebound down to Blumker.
Good show by Baker McGrath.
Blumker on the left side. He'll cross over. Bullet pass. Here's Himaleski. Goes up. Layup is goal.
Tigers starting to get some momentum back.
29-25. Coach Default tells Mr. Nick Default, slow it down. 45 seconds to play. Now ball poked away by Himaleski. Ooh.
He was looking back at his dad and not paying attention. Drew almost took that from him.
Willingham on the right side wing on top to Strike. Down to 37 seconds. I'd be shocked if Waseca takes a shot before the final second. Strike nearly had it poked away. Gets it back. Now Carter over to Default. Deep 2 is launched. That's short. Rebound down to Strike, though. He'll spin. He'll fire an open 11-footer. Short arm, air ball. Rebound, Blumker.
Tigers will now take the last shot. 20 seconds left on the clock. Tigers down 4, 29-25.
Blumker runs right by Strike. Goes up, hangs in the air. Got it!
Quick shot, but it was open. 5 now for Blumker.
10 seconds to play in the half. 29-27. Blue Jays. Into the front court, Default. Sizes up, Himalaski gets a screen, steps through, that counts as a 3, it's short, rebound down to Lance, and that'll end the first half. Oh, good quick 6-0 run by Marshall, that could be huge. They trail by 2, 29-27. So we're underway, Tigers will be going left to right in your radio down here in the second half. Default into the front court for the Blue Jays. Dribbles over to the right-hand side, hands off to Strike. Here to the near side, Nelson. Nelson guarded by Songstad. To the left baseline, Strike. Jumper over Blumker is good.
Got him open. That's what we're talking about. Open shots from the Blue Jays. Strike hits his second bucket of the night. He's got 5.
That's the thing. You leave a guy wide open. You're praying that he doesn't make it. Winkleman, high pass, great catch by McGrath. Gets it over to Himaleski. Open jumper right baseline is good.
Tit for tat there as Drew Himaleski gets a wide open jump shot himself.
Strike now lobs it here to the near side. Default lobs it back over to Strike. Strike wanted to pass to the middle. Back over to Default here on the near side. Lobs it back over. Dangerously caught by Strike, and Sogstad got caught in a tough spot. Nick knew it. He went right away. That's a layup the other way.
Yep, that's a foul on Nick Sogstad, just his first. Interesting to see what they do with the foul count here in the second half as well. Very lopsided in the first half in the Tigers' favor.
Well, very close to a 10-second violation there, too, by Waseca. Guzzi hands off to Strike. Strike on the left wing, lobs it. Guzzi, good catch, pump fake, shot is good.
Yep, got Baker McGrath up in the air. He wanted that block pretty bad. Jake Guzzi does a nice job with the pump fake, puts it back up and in. He's got 8.
Blumker over to the left, 33-29, Waseca. Zach hangs in the air over to the right baseline, Songstad. Nick gives it to Himaleski, over to the left baseline, Blumker. Zach into McGrath. McGrath spins into a double, lost it, got it back now to Songstad. Nick, bullet pass over to Winkleman, pump fake, he'll spin on Carter, step through, go up, shot is good!
Tough shot, had his back to the hoop, and Carter all over his back. He still makes the shot. Reese gets the bucket to go.
Strike has the pass batted out of bounds by Himaleski.
Something we talk about, if you make your shots, you can set up this full court pressure like the Tigers are doing right now, hopefully cause some turnovers.
Here on the near side, Strike gets into the front court to Guzzi. Tigers come with a trap here. Ooh, they had an opportunity there, but Guzzi lobs it over to Default on the right side. Try to attack Sogstad. Looking to attack, pulls up from 14. That one rims off, rebound loose. Caught by Sogstad.
It's a fun battle when those rebounds come down. I'm telling you, very physical.
Himaleski to McGrath. West into the paint, lost it. It's on the ground and taken by Guzzi and tied up. It'll stay with Marshall.
Yeah, they're going to say that it was on purpose, but it wasn't. Both kids fighting for the basketball. You can hear some oohs and ahs up here, but a nice fight between Guzzi and Baker McGrath.
Swept on the floor, so they want to wipe that up, make sure that's all right. 33-31 Waseca, 16:06 to play. Will be Tiger basketball coming up from the left baseline from Zach Blumker. Blumker gets it into McGrath on the left baseline to Himaleski on top of Sogstad over to the right. Blumker. Zach looking down low, crosses over, kicks out Sogstad. Slowly gets it over to Himaleski on the left wing. Drew fakes the 3. He'll attack baseline. Fires it out to Sogstad. Lob it into McGrath. Trying to backdoor cut. Ball tipped and stolen by Strike. Strike is then fouled by Blumker.
Frustration from Baker McGrath, too. They are just beating him up down there, and it's starting to show. And then Blumker comes in with the foul.
Weston had Reese Winkleman wide open, JT. That's what he's trying to do. But he tried to jump, got dislodged, and then lost the ball in the process. 33-31 in favor of the Blue Jays. Default crosses over right wing, step back 3, tough shot. Got it!
There it is. There's no way you can defend it.
That's an awesome shot.
Yes, it is.
Sogstad hands off to Himaleski, right back to Nick on the left baseline. Back out, Himaleski. Drew thought about launching, gives it back over to Nick. Nick looks to lob it down low, now lobs it high. Good catch and a foul on Carter.
That'll be 3 on Carter. They're trying to get these fouls on these guys. Guzzi has 2, now Carter with 3, Nelson with 2.
He did such a good job, did Guzzi, of playing with 2. He played a boatload of minutes after he picked up the second. Carter and Nelson sat for a lot of that first half.
Williamson comes in for Carter.
Inbound to Himaleski, went up for the dunk. He's fouled on the way up, and if that's on Nelson, that's his third, but he's looking at strike. And it will be on strike.
Just his first.
So Himaleski, I like the ferocity. He was going to hammer that baby. Strike with a nice hard foul. So Drew at the line. Free throws up. No good. 2 for 9 for Marshall from the charity strike. Second free throw for Drew is up. That is good. 36-32 in favor of the Blue Jays. The three-point shot, they've made 4 to the Tigers 1. Strike has the ball batted in the air by Blumker. Loose ball, Strike gets it back, then fires it ahead. Give it to Nelson. Nelson to attack, bounces it over to Williamson. Now to Nelson on the left baseline, pump fake, and will hand it off to Strike. Strike, guarded by Blumker, gets a nice screen, dribbles out here, hands off to Dufault. Dufault setting up the offense here for Waseca. Bounces it over to left to Strike. Strike on top of the key to Guzzi. Over to the right, Dufault. Dufault will fire a 3 over Himaleski. That is good.
You got to be kidding me. You do not want that kid heating up, and he is. Tigers down 7.
39-32. Saugstad, he'll fire a 3, left open, buries it. Ooh, got away with a travel too, JT.
He did. We'll take the 3, though. Needed it.
39-35. Tigers down by 4. Dangerous pass caught by Williamson, and it's going to be a foul on Winkleman.
Reese picks up his first.
Lance going to check in for Himaleski. 39-35 Blue Jays. Willingham, who was the spark plug in the first half for the Blue Jays, checks in for Strike. Pass in for Winkleman. Nelson inbound for the Blue Jays. Throws it to the backcourt to Willingham, who quickly walks it into the front court. Takes the handoff. Looking to attack Blumker. Lost it. Stolen by Zach.
Good job by Zach to pull that back. Looked like he wanted to run along the sideline. Thought better of it.
Blumker on the left wing gives it to Lance on the baseline. Back to Zach. Wide open 3. Tigers need it. He gets it.
Just like that, the Tigers back with 1. A 6-0 run put on by the Tigers.
Dufault here to the near side to Willingham. Willingham, dangerous pass, got it to Dufault. Dufault then bumped by Blumker.
Silly on Zach's part. That's going to be his second. I don't know what he's complaining about.
Well, Coach Carroll said, do not give that kind of reaction. A referee could easily tee you up for that. Just say, hey, all right, got me the bump. You move on. 39-38. Waseca with 13:50 to play. Dufault dribbles over to the right side wing, bounces it on top of the key to Willingham. Willingham dribbles over to the left. Dufault coming off the screen. They hand it off to him. He'll stutter step, back out. Look to his left, go to the right, Nelson. Nelson guarded by Blumker. He goes baseline, spins around. McGrath swats it away. Picked up by Lance.
Slow it down now. What a grip. Obviously coming out, so a good block. Zach does a good job of getting back after the basketball and then kind of get tumbled down. Guzzi into Dufault, into Blumker.
So Guzzi and Carter now with 3 apiece. Or
put it on Dufault.
Oh, they did give it Dufault. Yep. Okay, Guzzi just checked out. As Lance on top of the key over to left Blumker. Zach fakes the 3. He'll go off the bounce. Look at a spin. Fires it on top to Lance. Lance lobs it in McGrath. Kick out Saugstad. Fakes the 3 right wing. Fakes the jumper. Jumper for Hess wide open. Right baseline. No good. Rebound Willingham.
Just a little bit too strong. Tigers struggling to get that lead.
Dufault on the left side wing. 39-38 in favor of the Blue Jays. Good scoop layup is good for Dufault.
Just cut right through the defense. Everybody thinks he's going to take that step back jump shot. That time he sliced right through. 8 points to match his first half total. He's got 16.
Wide open Lance, left baseline, doesn't fire the 3. Entry pass goes into McGrath. Jump hook is good. Good touch.
The first bucket of the half for Weston Baker McGrath in. We have a 1-point ball game again.
41-40 Blue Jays. 12:25 to play. Dufault walks into the front court here for the Blue Jays. Dribbles over to his right, gets it to Nelson, and he stepped on the sideline. Turnover, Waseca.
Really just a battle for momentum right now. It's up in the air on who's going to have it.
Blumker and McGrath out. Andries and Hemileski in. 12:20 to play here in the second half, excuse me. Carter and Guzzi both check in as soon as McGrath checks out. Town will now check in for Hess. So a little role play here by Waseca, JT. Noticing McGrath checks out. They're bringing in both big guys. Who are they going to guard is the question. As Sogstead on top of the key. Looks over to the left. Lobs it to Andries on the left elbow. Blaze lobs it back over to Sogstead. Nick takes the handoff to Lance. Wanted to attack. Good defense by Willingham to make him retreat. Too high for Town. Turnover Marshall.
That's not something Nick usually does.
Nope. Just lobbed it down there.
Couple of opportunities to take the lead back from Waseca. Foiled.
Every possession is important. 41-40. Waseca by one with 11:50 to play. Dufault on the right wing on top to Willingham. Willingham to the left, Nelson. Nelson gets it inside. Lost ball on the ground and trying to be picked up by Himileski. Then Guzzi kicks it out of bounds. Actually, Carter kicked it out of bounds. Turnover Waseca.
A little sloppy.
Well, now you feel the pressure of what's on the line. And we talked about it in the pregame show. Mentality would be the biggest factor in this basketball game. With the game it runs, yes, but as you wind down, just 11 and a half minutes left, you can feel the pressure. Lance into the front court here for the Tigers. Over to the left, Sogstead fakes the three. Nick asking for a screen from Andries. Gets one, hesitates, drives right, pump fake, lobs it. It's tipped up in the air, goes off the rim to Himileski. Pump fake, he'll go up, foul, bucket, goal!
Huge play, great offensive rebound. It was just a lucky bounce. Went right back to Drew Himileski, up and in, draws the harm. Drew now with 11 points in the basketball game. He will make it 12 at the free throw line. I can feel it.
Third on Guzzi. What a fortuitous bounce for Marshall. Nick was trying to pass it. Got tipped, it went off the rim to Himileski. Guzzi out, Williamson in. And it's 42-41 Marshall. Long time coming before the Tigers were able to regain any kind of lead. Himileski at the line, free throws up, short-armed it. It's short, rebound down to Williamson. Dufault launches it ahead, bad pass, knocked away by Town, stolen by Sogstead. Nick on the right side, looking for a lob, goes up for Himileski, too far, and oh man. I like the idea, but you got to make sure it's an automatic, young man.
A little bit too high from Nick Sogstead, and every possession counts, like you said. Take your time on that. They had an opportunity for a bounce pass, easy layup. Instead, went for the flashy play, and it didn't turn out.
Time out on the floor by Waseca. 11:08 to play. 42-41 Marshall. As you listen to Tiger Basketball here on 103.3 and 1400 KMHO. Attack right side, goes right at Willingham over Guzzi. What a tough layup from Sogstead. That is a Cost Cutter clip of the game. Be sure to stop and buy Cost Cutters located in Marshall Super Walmart over both nights and weekends for your convenience. Well, 42-41. Tigers lead by one with 11:08 to play. First half, JT, we had a combined 6 turnovers. Second half, we have a combined 7 turnovers between the two squads. Think they're playing for something pretty big tonight?
Yeah, there's been a lot more pressure on themselves. There's still 11:08 left in this basketball game. It's been a dandy so far.
I like the timeout by Coach Dufault, too, just to say, hey, we got to settle down. They've turned it over a couple of times. Now Carter tried to attack, lost it, got it back. Fires near side Nelson. Nelson on the left wing. A couple dribbles guarded by Town. Will cross over. He'll spin in the paint, go up. Shot over McGrath, no good. Weston with the board.
McGrath made him take an awkward shot.
Up the floor, Himileski here on the left side to a trailing Blumker. Nope, to McGrath in the paint. Shot is up, no good. Rebound tapped out. Lance will set things up. No, he'll attack. He'll hang in the air. There's an offensive foul. And we'll go the other way.
And Trey will pick up his second foul. A lot of folks thought the first one should have been, but it's incidental contact with Baker McGrath. It's a good call.
You can't slide under a player when he's airborne to get the charge, and that's why there was the no call. That was a good offensive call and very close. Williamson did a beautiful job of staying right in there, right outside the circle. 6 turnovers tonight for the Tigers. Dufault into the front court, Williamson out. Guzzi back in. 42-41 Marshall. Dufault on the right side wing, hands off to Willingham. Willingham on top of the key. Dribbles over to his right, wants to get it to Dufault. Dribbles there, guarded by Blumker. Tigers play a little 3-2 zone, trying to change it up, trying to slow down this Waseca offense. Strike on the right side wing. On top to Guzzi. Guzzi over to the left, Willingham. Willingham, left baseline strike. 3 over McGrath is up and in and out, no good. Rebound down, Carter can't hang on, it's down to Winkleman.
That was dangerous strike, got wide open. You could see it coming a mile away. Weston Baker McGrath didn't want to come out on him. He had a wide open 3.
Reese runs right by Willingham, left hand layup, no good. McGrath with an unbelievable putback.
Did I just see that? Woo!
Default comes down the floor, ripped away by Winkleman. Reese gives it to Himaleski. Drew will go up, he tries to dunk it, layup good anyway.
There's the streak the Tigers were looking for. And the Tigers now with a 5-point lead, 46-41.
9:30 to play. Willingham over to strike on the right-hand side. Coach Default trying to let it ride. Willingham wide open 3 right baseline is gone!
And that's why he lets it ride. That Willingham kid, he can shoot the basketball. 3rd 3 of the night, and it is getting loud in here.
Left side, Himaleski. Drew looking to backtrack, gives it to Winkleman, looks to lob it down low, nothing there. Directing traffic here, fakes the handoff to Blumker. He'll attack Carter, got caught in the air, shot no good. Put back dunk by McGrath!
There it is. The Tigers playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Strike gives it to Willingham, hands off to Default, wants everybody to settle down. Default now, a tough 3 right wing. Gone! Are you kidding me?
What a game.
48-47, Tigers by 1 with 8:40 to play. Right side, Lance. Trey gets it down to Winkleman. Reese, pump fake, goes up, foul, bucket, goal!
Back and forth we go. This is a heavyweight fight. Oh my goodness.
4th on Carter. And I don't believe Waseca wants to play the up and down game, JT, and the Tigers have got it to more of their game type.
That 3 ball has really saved them the last couple of times down the floor. Willingham hit one, and then Nick Dufault hit a beautiful 3-point shot back to back. But other than that, you're right. You do not want to go back and forth. Tigers really have some mojo going for themselves, but now really important. They step to the free throw line. They have not been good. They have to start hitting these. It's a close basketball game. It's crunch time. You got to hit your free throws.
Strikeout. Nelson in. Winkleman to the line for 1. 50-47 Marshall. 8:34 to play. Winkleman free throw is up. No good. Rebound comes down to Williamson. Default will bring it up the floor here for Waseca. Guarded by Lance. On the right side wing, right baseline, Willingham. Gives it back out to Default. Default looks to the sideline, gets the play. Lance stays in his hip pocket, jump stop, shot, got caught in the air, but made it anyway. Great adjustment by Default.
You don't think he wants to win this game? Tigers up 1.
McGrath jumped early. Default hung in the air long enough to scoop it around him. 50-49, Marshall by 1. Saugstad to the right, Blumker. Zach gives it back on top to Saugstad. Now to Winkleman at the free throw line. Left side, Lance wide open 3. He'll fire. That one rims out. Rebound, Winkleman. Pump fake. Goes up strong. Blocked. Gets it back. Kick out, Lance. Trey now settles it down for Marshall. Winkleman on the left baseline. He'll spin. Kick out, Lance. He'll fire another 3 left wing. That's up and go!
Second chance opportunities, and the Tigers get it that time. They have the pump fake down on Reese. He has to be aware of that.
53-49 in favor of Marshall. 7:30 to play. Default crosses over, goes down the paint, dishes it over. Williamson jumper. That one too strong. Rebound down. It's loose to Saugstad.
I'm surprised Default didn't take that shot point blank.
Well, Baker McGrath didn't jump on that one. Maybe thought it was going to get blocked as Lance has it on the left wing. Trey dribbles out, settles down. 7:10 to play. Saugstad left baseline. He'll skip it over to the right baseline. Blumker, he'll fire 3 over Willingham. Short. Rebound comes down to Williamson.
And Willingham come out, maybe threw a shot off just a little bit.
Now over to the right side. Nelson fakes
Travel.
the 3. Travels. Called right away.
Easy call right in front of the official.
Himaleski got to check in.
Well, with the way the Tigers are shooting free throws, they better have a pretty decent lead by the end of this half.
Blumker is the one to check out. 53-49, Marshall, 6:57 to play. Inbound comes into Nick Saugstad. Nick will bring it to the front court for Marshall. On top of the key. lobs it to McGrath. Backdoor cut. Himaleski goes up. Reverse layup. Shot no good. Winkleman battles for it. Rebound tip to Himaleski. Drew shovels it out. Saugstad off the bounce. Left baseline. Himaleski three is open. He'll fire it. Nail it!
Great shot from the left side. Good team basketball by the Tigers. Get it to the open man. A big hit from Drew.
To fall out here on the perimeter. 56-49 in favor of Marshall. Their biggest lead of the night. Willingham on the far side. Looking to isolate here. It's the left side. Nelson, he'll fire an NBA three and bank it in. Are you kidding?
Hey, shrugs his shoulders like, yeah, I meant to do that.
That is huge because that was going to be a miss. That could be a big turner. Timeout Waseca. Inbound. Caleb Nelson literally just drilled a 25-foot three, banked it in just off the top of the key on the left-hand side. And an absolutely ginormous shot for the Blue Jays. McGrath over to the left side. Himaleski. Drew. Couple bounces left open. Fakes the shot. Give it to Winkleman. Reese. One bounce. Takes the hand off to Blumker. Reese now spins on Carter. Goes up. Layup is gone.
Fortunate. Came off his hand awkward, but went in.
58-52 Marshall. Dufault cross it over in the paint. Forces one. Got it anyway. I shouldn't even say forces one because he's that good.
Yep, that's his basketball game. He can do anything he wants to. So gifted.
58-54 in favor of the Tigers with 5:35 to play. Blumker over to the right. Saugstad. Nick lobs it down. Winkleman. Pump fake. Now puts up the shot. Blocked. Out of bounds to Marshall.
Well, they're on to Reese. That pump fake isn't working. He should go up right away. Time to change things.
Winkleman going to get a breather here. Well-deserved. Heck of a few minutes from Reese. Lance back in. 58-54 Marshall. 5:29 to play. Saugstad bounces it into Lance on the right baseline. Trey gives it to Himaleski on the right wing. Lob it down low. McGrath touch pass Lance. He'll fire an open three right baseline. Got it again!
That's the touches inside. Gets it open for Trey Lance.
Now lob it down low. Guzzi goes up. Blocked by McGrath. Rebound Himaleski. Tries to bounce it. It's loose. Picked up by Guzzi. Here comes a three from Dufault. Got it!
I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
The last guy you want to get it in that situation. What a scramble play by Waseca. 61-57 Marshall. Lob it down low. McGrath catches it. Shot up and in. Good no call.
Yeah, they keep wanting that offensive foul. It's not going to come.
63-57 in favor of Marshall. Dufault crosses over. Comes off the screen. Backs out. Setting it up for the Blue Jays. Off another screen. He'll fire a 28-footer. That one just off to the left. Rebound Himaleski.
I think everybody in the gym is like, what? He missed?
Blumker to the front court. Tigers at a timeout. Like it by Coach Carroll. 63-57 Marshall. 4:28 to play. So listen to Tiger basketball here on 103.3 and 1400 KMHL. Marshall with a 6-point lead. 4:28 to play coming out of the Tiger timeout. Lance bounces it into Saugstad.
Tigers should be patient. Up 6. 4.5 minutes. You don't want them to be too patient.
Over the left side, Himaleski. Drew looks down low for McGrath. Couple dribbles here. Gives it to Lance. Trey over to the right. Saugstad. Nick. Couple dribbles with the left hand on top to McGrath. McGrath over to the left. Blumker. Hits a screen. Nope. Zach will take it baseline, cut off. Dangerous pass, got it to Lance. Trey now in the paint. Pass stolen right away by Willingham.
That was just a mess from the get-go and coming out of a timeout. You don't want that.
Now Nelson pump fake on the three. He'll attack, go up at McGrath. High teardrop blocked by McGrath. Rebound swatted out of bounds. The pass attempt by Carter swatted out of bounds.
Did he just get that scared when he saw Baker McGrath coming and just...
McGrath got a piece of it.
Yeah. He tried to throw it up high over him. It didn't work out.
Inbound comes up from Nelson, 63-57 in favor of Marshall. Nelson in a bad spot. Willingham is fouled by Blumker. 6th team foul on Marshall.
Blumker picks up his third.
3:50 to play, 63-57. Tigers with 3 timeouts, Blue Jays with 2. Nelson to inbound, lobs it into Willingham. Willingham on top of the key here. These guys can shoot from anywhere. You cannot leave their side. Dufault on the left-hand side, coming off a double screen. Looking to attack. Good show by Saugstad. Tigers wanted to carry. Now the default lost
double
it.
Dribble.
Nope, he kept his dribble alive. Looked awkward. Nelson crosses over, takes a deep 2. They'll call it a 3, no good. Guzzi with a board. Put back.
Guzzi hits. Tigers should have had that rebound.
Well, perfect spot. JT missed everything to the left, and Guzzi was on the left. 63-59 in favor of the Tigers with 3:14 to play. Saugstad bounces it over to Lance. Trey goes left, going strong, goes up, and is swallowed, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And why not? Tigers have not been shooting free throws well. They're not going to give him the easy one.
Now they're going to talk about an intentional here because they did not make a play, JT. They tackled Lance. Nope, they're not going to call it intentional. That would have been a very tough call. And
at this time of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Caleb Nelson's going to be the guilty party. You could pick either one. Nelson picks up his 3rd. Big free throws coming for Trey.
Trey steps up. 3:08 to play. Trying to build on this Tiger lead. Free throws up, no good.
Jeepers.
Winkleman in for Saugstad. Williamson in for Carter. Strike in for Nelson.
I know it sounds like a broken record, but this game's almost a blowout if Tigers hit their free throws. It's been that bad.
So Trey back to the strike. Free throws up. That one's no good either. Rebound down to Guzzi. Guzzi with 7 boards now on the night. Strike into the front court for the Blue Jays. 63-59. Marshall with 2:55 to play. Willingham over 2 strike on the left side wing. Looks inside, gives it to Guzzi, out to Willingham, 3 over Himaleski's up and good.
Why not? Just a quick release from Willingham, his 4th 3 of the night. He has 14, and we have a 1-point ball game.
And why the Tigers went to double Guzzi is beyond me, JT, and Coach Carroll shaking his head like he didn't like that either. Give it to McGrath. On top of the key, gives it to Blumker. Zach going off a screen to the left. Pull-up jumper for Zach is good. Big shot from Zach.
Tough shot from Zach. And this time of the game, 10 now for him.
Default into the front court. Dribbles to his left. Settles down. Gives it to Strike on the left baseline. Strike skips it over to Willingham. Willingham thought about a shot. Instead, he'll hand it off to Default. We're down to 2:10 to play. 65-62 Marshall. Default. Guarded by Lance. Stops. Pops the 3 over. Lance is up and gone.
It's ridiculous. No, it is ridiculous. We have a tie game.
65-65. Blumker into the front court. Over to the right. Bad pass. Stolen by Willingham. He has a run out. Himaleski trying to chase him. The layup is missed. Rebound tap loose. Default left open. He'll fire a 3 as McGrath flies by. It's up and good.
It is pandemonium here. If you're a Blue Jay fan, you're screaming as loud as you can right now. They're up 3 with a minute and a half left to go.
A 9-0 run by Waseca. Lance gets it over to the right to Himaleski. Now Blumker. Zach goes baseline. Looking to come across, forcing the shot, no good. Rebound down. Blumker gets it back, goes up, foul, and it will go to the line for 2.
Now the Tigers have to be chasing.
Foul on Guzzi.
That's his 4th. More importantly right now, Tigers trail by 3, and the Achilles heel at the free throw line is Zach Blumker.
Blumker, free throw, good. Saugstad will check in for Winkleman. 68-66. And a timeout by Waseca. Tigers down by 2, 68-66 with a minute 20 to play. Happens on this free throw, they'll hold the lead. Barring a putback by Marshall if there's a miss. Blumker to the line, trying to cut it to a 1-point deficit. It's up and good. Strike to inbound, gets it into Willingham. Willingham throws it over to Default. Default, not a guy you want to foul. High pass caught by Guzzi. Guzzi now guarded by Himaleski. 1 dribble, looking to hand it off to someone. Bounces it to Willingham right here on the near side with a minute 7 to play. 68-67 in favor of the Blue Jays. Hand off to Strike. Strike bounces it back to Willingham. Willingham to Guzzi. Guzzi over to the left. Here is Willingham to Default. Default going to spin out of a double. Hands off Willingham. Willingham high pass out to Strike. Strike is then fouled by Blumker with 45 seconds, and he had to, JT.
Yep. They're going to run the entire clock off and take a shot. So that's going to be the 4th foul on Blumker. No matter what happens here, if the Tigers can get the basketball back, they'll at least have an opportunity to tie up the basketball game.
Guzzi out. Williamson hadn't even checked in yet, and Guzzi ran onto the bench. Now Willingham out as well. 1-1 coming up for Strike. 68-67 Waseca. As Strike's free throws up, no good. Rebound down. It's picked up by Carter. Put back good. Are you serious?
Absolutely cannot allow it. And they did.
Saugstad takes the handoff, gives it to Blumker. Zach wanted to launch. Instead, he'll go off the bounce. Give it to Himaleski. Over to the right, Lance. Trey fakes the three, back to Himaleski. Drew lobs it down to McGrath. McGrath fakes the pass. He'll spin right, go up, kisses, goal. Timeout, Coach Carroll, with 22 seconds remaining.
They're going to try and put some pressure on, get a steal right away. If they can't do that, you have to foul, but you know they're going to try to get the ball in the hands of number 12.
Even if they do get a number 12, he's still now a tough time here. Nelson gets it into Strike, and there's going to be a foul by Himaleski. So Strike will go back to the line. So Strike back to the line, 70-69 in favor of the Blue Jays. Strike trying to add to it. Free throw is up, pure. Just a confident stroke to give the kid a lot of credit. When you make that first one, you have a lot of confidence for the second. Tigers hoping he misses. Strike, free throw up, good. Inbound comes into Nick Saugstad. Tigers down by 3 with 18 seconds to play. Saugstad on top. Dribbles over to the right, hands off Blumker. Zach off the bounce. Right back over to Nick. He'll fake the three. Skip it to Winkleman. Left side Lance. He'll fire a three over Nelson. Tough shot. Air ball. Rebound Strike. He's fouled by Winkleman with 5 seconds to play. This College 72-69 Waseca. Strike trying to ice the game with 5.1 seconds. 1-and-1 free throw. Missed it. Rebound to McGrath. Gives it to Saugstad. Nick up the floor. Goes over to Lance. Lance fires for the tie to send it to OT. Got it! Oh my goodness! It didn't off the back rim and fell in. We're going to OT on a last-second three from Trey Lance.
The Blue Jays thought that was not going to go in. They were jumping up and down, going back to the bench. Somehow it sat on the back of the rim, went in. Tie ball game, 72-72.
I don't believe it. That was unbelievable. Wow. Holy cow. An extra frame. State trip still on the line. We'll take a timeout and come back with more. So listen to Tiger Basketball 103.3 and 1400 KMHO. Gus Youngcourt. The heroics of Trey Lance gets us an extra 4 minutes. 72-72 our score. McGrath to jump against Guzzi. Tigers still going left to right in your radio dial.
You know, that's tough to do. Trey missed that first three very badly. To have the confidence to go back out there and take the shot again, that takes guts.
Tap is up and won by Guzzi. And the Blue Jays will start with the basketball. Quick wrap up here. Nick Dufault, 24 second half points to lead Waseca. To go with his 8 in the first half. You can do the math. We got action here. Strike on the left-hand side. Gets it over to Carter on the right wing. Carter hands off Nelson. Nelson crosses over, picks up his dribble to Dufault. Dufault attacking the right baseline. Pull up fadeaway jumper is good.
Right out. 26 and a half, 34 in the game.
Mustang fans, you're going to dig Nick Dufault. Wow. Al McGrath, great catch. Out to Saugstad on top of the key. Gives it to Himaleski. Himaleski hands off Lance on the right side. He'll fire a three for the lead. That's up in, no good. Rebound comes down to Carter.
Had to take the shot. It was there. It was wide open.
Now left side to Nelson. Nelson crosses over, trying to go by Lance. He'll spin in the paint. Shot partially. Ooh.
Oh, they're going to get a foul on Trey Lance. I strongly disagree. That's going to be 3 on Trey Lance.
He had the clean block. I think maybe as he was coming down, he got a piece of Nelson's arm, but the ball is dislodged at that point.
I've seen worse in this game.
So now Nelson trying to expand on Waseca's lead. Free throw no good.
Now the nerves really going to start to build.
Himaleski out. Winkleman in. Nelson back to the line for one more. Nelson's free throws up, no good. Rebound down to McGrath.
I've been waiting for that for a while. Waseca has been dominating the glass.
Saugstad at the front court here for Marshall. 2:58 to play. 74-72 at overtime in favor of Waseca. Blumker on the baseline. Kick out to Lance. Trey dumps it in. McGrath. Jump hook is up and go.
A big shot from Baker McGrath. He's got 18.
Default into the front court for the Blue Jays. Here comes the double. Bullet pass to Williamson. Williamson out to Nelson. 74-74, score with 2:35 to play. Nelson on the left-hand side gives it to Willingham. Willingham wants to get it to Default. Does. Default here at half court. Gets a screen from Guzzi. Goes to his right. Ball picked and stolen by Blumker. Zach races Guzzi down the other way. He'll stop, pump fake, layup up, block. Put back McGrath, no good. Second put back is good.
And Tigers take the lead 76-74. Second and third opportunity.
Default pass stolen by Winkleman. Gives it to Blumker. Up ahead to Lance. Trey, power dribble, pump fake, foul, and he'll go to the line for two.
They're going to get Williamson on the foul. That's going to be his second, but a great turn of events for the Tigers. They needed it.
Oh. As this game goes, it is far from over. Coach Default wants a timeout, and he'll get it. 76-74. Tigers by two with Trey Lance at the line. And also to say, you want Waseca to force the foul you like Waseca did to Marshall in regulation.
Yeah, you do. Otherwise, Tigers are going to try to take this minute 19. If they can, you're going to look for Waseca to try to get the steal. If they can, eventually they're going to have to foul. Tigers have to protect the basketball, which is why they're bringing Zach Blumker in, another ball handler for the Tigers.
That being said, we'll keep it right here. A timeout by Marshall. Both teams with one remaining. With that being said, if there is a foul on Waseca, it is still a 1-and-1. 18 fouls on the Blue Jays. So Coach Carroll diagramming a plan, maybe try to get a high percentage layup, backdoor cut to Himaleski of some kind, or get McGrath a post touch, or I would be shocked if they maybe sat out and tried to burn some time off. But in the same right, JT, the way they've shot from the free throw line, you may see them try to get a high percentage layup.
I would agree with that. It has been atrocious. Trey Lance just made the last two, but they weren't easy. Those didn't go in very easy as well. So hopefully they can get that high percentage shot and go up by 4 points. That makes it a little more comfortable. But with the way this Waseca Blue Jay team shoots, nothing is safe.
Inbound comes up on the near sideline and right by the Waseca fans from Trey Lance. 78-76, Marshall with 1:19 to play in overtime. Lance to inbound. Lobs it back to Nick Saugstad. Nick crosses over, lost the basketball, runs it down, spins, got to get it across, does just in time before a 10-second violation. Actually had a couple seconds to spare. Lance to attack here on top of the key over to left side, Winkleman. Reese gives it back to Lance. We're down to a minute. 78-76, Blue Jays. Lance to Winkleman, right back to Lance. Waseca fans becoming restless. Lance now out here on the perimeter, hands off. Winkleman lost it, throws it, and that's going to be over and back. No, they say it's tipped.
It was.
Blumker gives it to Saugstad, skips it over to Lance. Lance to Winkleman. Reese skips it back over to Nick. Nick now to attack. Waseca trying to foul. Lance on the left side is fouled. Trey going to toe it up. Free throw is up. Is good.
That's big. That gives them a 3-point lead.
And the way Waseca shoots, this one's
even
just
bigger.
as big.
Yep.
79-76 Marshall. 36.8 seconds to play in overtime. Second free throw. Good from Lance again. Inbound comes into Default. Default up the floor. Here on the right side, trying to get a screen. Bounces it over to Nelson. Nelson going to fire an NBA three. That is no good. Deep rebound run down by Guzzi. Gives it back to Nelson. Now to Willingham. Willingham will fire a three over Himaleski. That is good. Timeout Waseca.
And he's hit huge free throws as well. 4 in a row for Trey Lance, the young sophomore.
And they still only lead by 1.
Yep.
And have to inbound. No timeouts left for Waseca. Guaranteed they foul if they can't get the trap on the inbound. As Lance to inbound. Trying to get it in here, does to Saugstad, who hands it back to Trey. Trey in the backcourt. They're going to come up here on the near side. Now dribbles between his legs, fakes the pass, got caught in the air, too high for Saugstad. Great catch by Nick, who's fouled by Willingham, and that saved a giant possession. And Nick Sogstad, the senior, steps up to the stripe for two giant free throws. First one is up, short-armed, and rolls off.
Big miss.
Giant miss. Especially with number 12 in white. Sogstad back to the line. Trying to make it a 2-point lead. Free throws up, and he got it. No timeouts, remember, for Waseca. Inbound comes into Willingham, hands off to Dufault. Dufault up the floor. Stutter steps, goes to the right, hangs in the air. Shot blocked by McGrath, and a whistle on Weston with 6.9 to play. He got a lot of body, JT.
He did, but he had his hand over the top of the basketball. The continuation by Dufault ran into Baker McGrath. Here going to pick him up with his first foul. Believe it or not, that's just his first. And Dufault with two big free throws the other way, 6.9 seconds
It would
left.
be a stroke of luck if he misses another. He already missed one. He's a 90+% free throw shooter. Free throw is good. And the way he shot in the second half, he has missed one shot, JT, the entire second half. He ain't missing a free throw. 81-80, Marshall by one. And they're that confident that Dufault will shoot without anybody rebounding. And a timeout by Coach Carroll, his final one, to try and set up a final play, barring Dufault makes. Dufault to tie. 81-80. Free throws up.
Good.
Swish. 6.9 to play. They'll roll it in. Trey will now pick it up. Lance into the front court. Goes over to the right. Stops. Step back. Jump shot is up from Lance. No good. Rebound down to Willingham. Ooh.
He called a timeout, didn't he?
They didn't grant it to him. If they would have, that would have been a technical foul. That's very fortunate for Waseca.
Here we go. Double overtime.
Back at Gus Young Court, tap one by McGrath. We're headed to our second overtime. Another 4 minutes thrown to the clock. 81-81 our score. Winner moves on to the state tournament. Neither team given away easily at all. McGrath, a bad pass by Sogstad, stolen by Nelson, bounces it ahead to Willingham. Willingham will give it to Dufault. Dufault fakes the three. He'll attack, rises up, shot no good. Rebound down to Guzzi, put back good.
Another rebound. Offensive. 12 now for Guzzi.
83-81 Waseca. Blumker on top of the key, crosses over, goes right, gives it to Lance. Trey on the right side wing, dumps it to McGrath. Jump hook, kiss, no good. Rebound down to Carter.
Not a good start to the second overtime.
Willingham comes into the front court here for the Blue Jays, 83-81. Blue Jays by two with 3:10 to play. Nelson on the left side wing. On top to Carter, over to the right, Willingham. Hands off to Dufault. Dufault, guarded by Himaleski, goes over to his right, spins in the paint, shot is up, forces it, no good. Rebound off McGrath, stays with Waseca and JT. They're having a boatload of problems all of a sudden trying to stop this.
It's just been turnover, well, not turnover, but great position by this Waseca Blue Jay team. And actually, Baker McGrath had a good opportunity to pull down that rebound, couldn't do it, knocked it out of bounds.
Nelson inbounds to Dufault here on the left wing, trying to force his way in, steps in, and there's going to be a travel on Dufault.
Good defense by Trey Lance. It's fortunate for the Tigers. You do not want to go down by 4. Not a lot of time on the clock.
Inbound to Nick Sogstad. Tigers have had 2 rush possessions, 1 a turnover. McGrath had a good shot, just rolled off on him. 83-81 in favor of Waseca. Blumker on the right side wing, crosses over, gets by Dufault, stops, forces up the shot, got it in, just willed it in.
He did. He went amongst the trees, off the glass and in.
83-83, 2:30 to play. Dufault at half court. Dribbles over to the right. Stops. Fadeaway jumper over Lance is no good. Rebound down to Blumker.
Dufault cooling off.
Blumker into the front court here on the right-hand side. It slows it down. Crosses over. Dangerous pass. McGrath has it stripped, but a foul on Carter.
That's the night.
Ooh.
A lot of boos, and I don't totally disagree with them. Bluebirds are out. Tiger fans are cheering. And Elijah Carter will finish his night.
Still Carter You won't see the lofty point numbers that maybe some of the other players have, but to me,
he's been huge.
He has the two biggest offensive board putbacks to save Waseca not once but twice tonight.
So coming into the basketball game will be Williamson for Elijah Carter.
Add Guzzi to that mix too. He's had some huge O boards. Between the two of them, they have 7 offensive rebounds here in the second half.
And looks like Drew might be cramping up a little bit. He's trying to work his way through it.
McGrath to the line for 2. Free throw no good. 83-83 our score. Second one coming up here shortly. Trying to get Marsh the lead back. McGrath free throw up. That one's no good either. Rebound down. It's loose and picked up by Nelson. Dufault will lock it up. 83-83 our score after 2 missed free throws. Dufault picks up his dribble. Here to the near side of Nelson. Nelson has the ball tipped away by Saugstad. Nelson dives, slides, got it to Willingham. Here to the near side, Guzzi. Guzzi left baseline, Dufault fakes the 3, fakes the step back, lost his dribble, hands off Willingham. He'll fire the 3, that's off. Deep rebound though down to Williamson. Williamson gives it to Nelson. Nelson teardrop shot blocked by McGrath. Back to Williamson again. Gives it to Nelson. He'll fake the 3. He'll attack. Shot is up and no good again. Rebound Nelson again. Layup good.
What was that, 3 offensive rebounds?
4 chances. You're asking for it. Minute 27 to play. 85-83 Waseca. Saugstad to go baseline. Spins out of some pressure. Bounces it to Winkleman. Reese gives it to Blumker. Zach on top of the key. Crosses over. Goes right. Hits a screen from Winkleman. Shot is missed by Blumker. Just botched it. Rebound down to Nelson.
A little bit of contact. He tried to fight through it. Couldn't quite do it. And then put up a tough shot. Unable to put it in.
Dufault walks up the floor. Here to the left and wide. Blumker fouled him. And it's the night for Zach. The last guy you want to foul.
I got to say, 3 of the fouls from Zach have been a little questionable. I don't know why.
Tough night. Tough to go out like that. You didn't want to foul with a minute to play. Anything can happen. Then you send automatic free throw shooter to the line for 2, trying to give them a 4-point lead. 85-83. Dufault at the line. Free throw up and good. How many is that given, JT?
For free throws or for points? 35, I believe. 36, 9.
Well, he has more than 35. Dufault at the line. Second free throw, money. Here comes
38.
Trey Lance into the front court. On top of the key, goes left. Looking for the backdoor cut, stops, pops the shot. No good. Rebound, battle for McGrath with the putback is good. Timeout, Coach Carroll, his only one. 46.2 seconds remain. 87-85 Waseca. 87-85 Blue Jays. Looking for the upset. They will have the basketball as well. Strike to inbound, gets it into Dufault. Dufault trapped on that far side. They do have a timeout. Dufault dangerously got it to Nelson. Nelson then spins out of traffic, throws it to no one. It's picked up by Dufault. Dufault here on the near side, and a timeout by Waseca.
Had to.
Strike inbounds, dangerous pass, got it to Willingham. Willingham spins, gives it to Nelson. That's the guy they want to foul, so they give it to Dufault. Dufault picks up his dribble. Ball kicked by Himaleski with 30.7 seconds remaining.
It'll be an interesting conversation if we can get Coach Carroll up here, if he's going to be able to get through the melee after this one, win, lose, or draw.
Inbound comes into Dufault, very close to over and back. Dufault here on the near side, you don't want to foul him. Bounce it over to Willingham. Willingham gives it back to Dufault. Dufault in the corner, trying to get out of a trap, tried to dribble through, lost the basketball, stolen by Himaleski. Shovels it ahead to Lance. Lance stutter steps, goes right at Nelson. Shot up, no good. Rebound at Winkleman. Pump fake, shot up and goal!
Knotted up at 87, 10 seconds left.
No timeouts for anybody. Willingham up the floor, bounces ahead to Strike. Strike leaves it for Nelson. Nelson goes right on the baseline. Jumper, no good. Rebound, Himaleski. We're heading to a third overtime. Himaleski launched a three-quarter shot just short. This is unreal. Wow! Waseca trying to sub somebody in. They have 5 on the floor. Williamson is going to be allowed to check in for strike. 87-87 our score. We've had heroics for both sides, obviously, in 3 overtimes. This is one for the ages. Guzzi to jump up against McGrath to get the Tigers going left to right and ready to dial a third 4-minute session put up on the board. So make sure Willingham is on his side. There's the whistle. Tap is up and won by the Blue Jays. McGrath won it, but Williamson steps in and grabs it, and the Blue Jays have the first shot at taking the lead. 87-87 our score. Default right baseline. Willingham wide open 3 for the lead right out of the gate. Swish!
Knew it was coming. They've been doing that half-court trap on Default to get rid of the basketball, but it's going to hurt you when you leave Malik Willingham wide open for the 3-point shot.
2 players have fouled out. Carter for Waseca, Blumker for Marshall. Now Lance loses it, stolen by Default. Default here on the near side, runs up the floor. Stutter steps in the paint, hangs in the air, 12-footer, got it!
40.
And just like that, Waseca explodes out of the gate and again leads 92-87. Who has what left in the tank? Himalaski pull up 17-footer, that is good!
A big shot from Drew. He's had a good second half. 18 points in the basketball game. Everybody's going to be in double figures by this one.
Willingham got caught in the air, but got it to Nelson. Nelson now here on the left-hand side. He wants to go right to the rim, fires it over to the baseline. Guzzi bounces it out to Default. 92-89 in favor of the Blue Jays with 2:50 to play. Nick Default has played every minute of this basketball game and has 40 points tonight. Now he looks for 43. It's up, no good. Rebound down to Winkleman.
Just about got it again, did the Blue Jays. Winkleman reached back to get the rebound. Coach Carroll saying get down there.
Left baseline, Himalaski to McGrath. McGrath spins, tough jump, hook is no good. Rebound, Willingham.
Shot was there.
Dangerous pass, Guzzi with a nice catch. And both teams starting to show some fatigue. Nelson crosses over, he'll attack, he'll put up a runner over Winkleman and make it!
Gave him too much room in the middle of the lane and a 5-point lead for the Blue Jays. 2:10 left.
Reese tried to draw the charge. Nelson went to his left. Now Lance over to Winkleman on the left wing. Reese spins in the paint. Kick out Songstad. Takes a giant 3. They need it, and he'll nail it! 94-92 Waseca. Default to Willingham. Right back over to Default into the front court here. He'll attack the right side. Gets cut off by Winkleman. Pass to no one. That's going to be over and back by the Blue Jays, as it's touched up by Willingham.
Tigers will have an opportunity to tie this back up down to 94-92. It's triple overtime. Minute 43 left in the basketball game. Who's going to go to the state tournament? I don't know. This might not wrap up until the end of the weekend the way these guys are going.
Winkleman and Himalaski have to come out, both trying to stretch out. JT, they both have cramps. Xavier Town and Jake Hess, who haven't played in a good 15-20 minutes, check in. Songstad to inbound here on the right baseline to Lance. Back at Gus Young Court. Town was fouled when we somehow lost audio. He misses both free throws. That's been the story of the night for the Tigers at the charity stripe. Willingham is fouled by Trey Lance with 1:28 to play in third overtime. 94-92, Waseca and Willingham at the line for 2 more.
4th foul on Trey Lance. During that foul, when Xavier Town stepped to the free throw line, Caleb Nelson out of the basketball game. He's hit some big shots towards the end of this basketball game. He'll finish his night with 9. We'll get a couple of free throws from Willingham.
Misses the first. Tiger coach is yelling to block out. 94-92, Waseca with 1:28 to play in the third OT. Willingham makes the second. Lance will inbound to Jake Hess, who gives it back to Trey. 95-92, Waseca with 1:20 to play. Lance into the front court, on top of the key, hesitates between the legs, over to the left, Songstead. Nick dumps it down to McGrath. Weston steps through, goes left. Good left-hand shot, missed. Got his own board, puts it up, foul, bucket, good!
There's an offensive rebound the Tigers needed. He's been struggling a little bit, has Weston Baker McGrath, but gets the offensive rebound, goes back up, puts it in. He'll try to knock this thing up at 95 at the free throw line.
Winkleman and Himaleski in, both battling cramps. Hess and Town out.
18.5 for Baker McGrath, 24 in the basketball game. We're praying to the Lord that he's going to make it 1 more point at the free throw line.
95-94, Waseca by 1 with 1:12 to play in the third OT. McGrath free throw is up, got it. Oh, 95's Default to Willingham. Willingham lobs it back over to Default. Default now skips it over into the front court to Guzzi. Guzzi will hand off to Strike. Strike throws it to Willingham. Ooh, tiptoes the half-court line. You can hear the oohs throughout the whole arena. Strike to the left to Default. 55 seconds to play. Default sizes up Lance. He'll go to the right, stutter step, hang in the air, kick over Williamson, jumper right baseline, air ball, rebound out of McGrath.
Tigers need to be patient. Want that last shot. 40 seconds left.
Songstead will walk up. Will Coach Carroll call a timeout, or will he let him play? Nick dribbles over to the left wing, hands off to Himaleski, throws it out to Lance. Lance stands at half court with 27 seconds to play. Trey now being counted. A couple dribbles here out at half court. Down to 23. Tigers do not want to give Waseca any chances. They either want to win or send it to a fourth OT. Trey dribbles out at half court. Coach Carroll not going to call a timeout yet. Down to 13 seconds. He's saying we'll go at 7. Down to 9. Trey at half court. He's hit one game winner. Will it be another? Trey now goes down to 4. Over to the right. Winkleman. Reese goes up strong. Foul bucket good with 1 second left. Holy cow!
The Tigers have fought and clawed in this triple overtime. Down by 5. They come back, take a 2-point lead. 1 second left. Reese Winkleman can all but knock this one up.
Timeout. Waseca. 97-95 Marshall. We'll be back. Reese Winkleman at the line for 1. You can't say anything about this contest because you never know. 1 second is an eternity. The way these two teams have exchanged blows tonight.
Well, Reese Winkleman's going to step to the free throw line and hopefully make it. Then they will have to inbound it and let it go in an awful quick fashion in order to try and knot this one up. I think Reese is going to make it. I have confidence.
I don't know if that's a good thing, the way Waseca's been shooting, as Reese free throw is up and is good. So they want to get it into Default. They'll come in, they'll give it to Default. He'll fire, it'll count if it goes. Looks good. It is!
Oh my God!
Are you kidding me? He makes it. We're headed to a fourth overtime. Wow!
Did that just happen? We are tied at 98.
This is undescribable. I don't have words, Justin.
I don't either. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how you get that off in 1 second, but he took one step, let it go. It looked good from the get-go. Splash, and we go to a fourth overtime.
get Gussie on court. Fourth overtime. We're tied at 98. McGrath to jump up against Guzzi. It's won by McGrath, but to Williamson.
That's twice that's happened.
And you wonder if you foul, but if he's in the, oh man, that's unreal. You don't think a guy can hit a three-quarter shot, and he did it. Strike. 98-98. We're in the fourth overtime. Handoff to Willingham over to Dufault on the right side. A game-high 43 points. He'll attack. He'll hang in the air right baseline. Shot no good. A rare miss. Rebound down to Guzzi. Runs into his own man. Powers it up. Blocked by McGrath. Rebound down to Strike, and he is fouled by Saugstad.
A little push by Saugstad. There's no question. The Tigers had an opportunity to get that rebound twice. Could not do it. Nick will pick up his second foul. Will get free throws by Strike.
Wow. Marshall, you would think you have the game won at N1. Winkelman makes the free throw. You almost wish you would have missed, Justin.
Yeah.
Because then Dufault got a running start, and he makes a three-quarter length shot. Now Waseca leads in the fourth overtime, 99-98.
A couple of kids fouled out for the Blue Jays, and Nelson and Carter Blumker for the Tigers.
Strike misses the second. Rebound down to McGrath. So 1 of 2 at the line. Lance into the front court. 3:20 to play on top of the key tray. Over to the left, Saugstad. 99-98 Waseca. Skip it over to Himaleski on the right baseline. Give it to Winkelman. Reese in the paint. Looking to attack. He'll spin. Kick out. Saugstad fakes the three. He'll attack. Now over to the right. Himaleski open jumper. That one is a line drive. No good, but the rebound batted out to Lance.
Reese, good job.
Trey dribbles out here. McGrath trying to set a screen. Goes to the left. Trying to get by Dufault. Spins. Cut off. Bounces it out to McGrath, hands off Saugstad, down to 2:50 in the fourth OT, 99-98 Waseca. Here to the near side, Himaleski with a catch, guarded by Strike. He'll come off the screen, looks for McGrath, give it to Winkelman. Reese over to the left, Saugstad. Nick going baseline, in some trouble, and throws it right to Strike. Oh, big time for a turnover there. Strike on that right side, gives it to Willingham as they trail, 2:30 to play, 99-98 Waseca. At half court, Strike gets it to the left, Dufault. Dufault, the only reason Waseca is in this with those heroics in the third OT after Lance had heroics to send it to OT, and we've been back and forth ever since. Strike. Hands off Willingham. Down to 2:05 to play. Willingham gets cut off, spins, nearly traveled, gives it to Williamson. Williamson out to Strike. Strike now goes over to the right. Thought about attacking, now just dribbles out here. Now we don't really have much basketball going on, just a lot of dribbling. 99-98 Waseca with a 2-point lead. Lance pokes it away. Williamson lost it off his leg. Oh,
that's a terrible call. We had a good look at that one. And it looked like it went off Willingham. The official disagrees. He didn't have a great look at it.
You can't ask for help in that situation.
No.
As Himaleski has to come out. In is Hess, 99-98, 1:45 remaining in the fourth overtime. Inbound comes into Dufault. Dufault into the front court. Trey's got to be careful. He has 4. Here's Strike on the left-hand side. Strike guarded by Saugstad. Goes behind the back. Got it to Guzzi. Hands it back off to Strike. Strike wants to set up the offense. We're down to 1:30. Strike runs into Dufault, but it goes to Dufault for 2 at a bounce there for the Blue Jays. Dufault sizes up Lance. Saugstad tries to come and steal it. He'll have to bounce it over to Strike on the left side. Strike now to attack. He'll put up the runner. Shot is no good. Rebound down to Moss. Blocked by McGrath. Rebound Strike.
Another offensive rebound.
At a timeout by Waseca. Inbound into Dufault in the backcourt.
They're going to try to take all this time off the clock.
Yeah. Get it over to the left. Here is Strike. 1:04 to play. On top to Guzzi. Over to the right, Willingham. Willingham, you wonder when you want to foul or maybe force a turnover. Ooh, great pass. Williamson catches it to Strike on the right baseline. Don't want to foul Dufault. But here's Strike dribbling out on the perimeter. Picks up his dribble. Gives it to Guzzi. Guzzi is fouled by Lance. And Trey is like, why'd I do that? That's number 5.
He knew it right away, too. He's played so well in this second half. One would call him the biggest hero. We had to get it to the first overtime. Hit some big free throws as well. Now he's going to have to sit down. He'll finish the night with 15.
So 2 free throws coming up for Guzzi. With the lead for Waseca. Guzzi going to try and give them a bigger lead. First free throw is up and is no good. 47.6 seconds to play. Waseca has run off over 2+ minutes off the clock. Coach Carroll calling a timeout. 47.6 seconds remaining. Guzzi to the stripe. Lance and Blumker out for Marshall. Nelson and Carter out for Waseca. Guzzi buries the free throw. So a 2-point lead for Waseca, as Reese Winkleman will bring it into the front court for Marshall. 100-98. Tigers down by 2. 39 seconds remaining and counting. Saugstad on top of the key. Nick lobs it to Winkleman here on the right elbow. Looking down low for McGrath. Can't get it to him. Now try to force it. It's poked loose and it's picked up by Willingham. Willingham spins out of it.
Gotta foul him.
Saugstad tried to foul. They didn't call it. Strike now middle of the floor. He'll try to bat it away. It's loose on the ground. Hess goes down for it. Trying to shovel it to Winkleman. Does. Reese now slows it up. Trying to get into the front court with 14 seconds to go. Coach Carroll going to let him play with 1 timeout left. Reese to attack. Shovels it. Rears layup good from Himaleski. And we got cramps from both Winkleman and Himaleski. They have to blow it dead. A lot of time went rolling off the clock. As good call by the referee, one to blow it dead, but the clock operator did not stop it. And both Himaleski and Winkleman are going to have to check out, and I can see the cramps on both of their calves. Winkleman's right, Himaleski's left. Default to inbound, gives it in to Willingham. Willingham trying to get it back, gives it to Strike. Down to 4 seconds. Strike stops. He'll pull up, kind of stumble, but makes it. And that'll end it. A game-winning shot for Strike. Waseca wins in the 4th overtime. They count it as a 3. It'll be a 2. It doesn't matter. 103-100. The Blue Jays have upset the Marshall Tigers.